Boitumelo Mushweshwe is the sole owner of Ahang Ngai at Ngai village in Maclaire. The project was started in 2017. She is farming in a communal land that was granted by the traditional authority, and the land size is 1 hectare arable. Boitumelo produces maize in 1 hectare, potato in 0.5 hectare, and spinach and cabbage in 0.5 hectare. She employs 6 casual laborers during planting and harvesting times. The farmer is using a minimum tillage system in her farm in order to minimize soil structure disturbance and encourage the moisture retention capacity of the soil, and she uses contour lines on sloppy fields to prevent soil erosion, which may result in dongas and land degradation. Her market is informal, and she sells maize at 150 Rand per 40 kg bag, and potatoes are sold at 90 Rand per 10 kg bag. She also posts on social media. Patience Machikijela Poultry and Vegetable Project is situated at Lubisini village in Mount Fletcher. Patience was not born blind, but she lost her eyesight in 2017. She started with the project in the year 2016, producing vegetables like cabbage, spinach, pumpkin, onion, beetroot, green pepper, and she is also rearing layers and broilers. Due to the soil type, she plots some of her vegetables in tyres filled with soil. She is well supported by the Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform with seeds, seedlings, feeds, and other inputs. She contributes to the community and would like to be assisted with soil preparations. Nomsa Piggery Sheep and Vegetable Project is a sole-owned project and is situated at Dingwane village, which is approximately 12 kilometers from Mount Fletcher towards Matatiele in the Eastern Cape. The project is run by a disabled female farmer that is mentally impaired. She plants different vegetables like cabbage, spinach, potatoes, and tomatoes for household consumption. She expanded production capacity until she had a surplus to sell. She also produces pigs and sheep. She uses kraal manure and pig waste in order to fertilize and improve the structure of her soil and to retain soil moisture content. Ms. Koliswa Dabula owns Dabula Vegetable Project, situated close to Mount Frere in the Eastern Cape. In 2020, Ms. Dabula was diagnosed with permanent eyesight and vision challenge that resulted to her struggling to find employment to support her family. The project operates on a 2-hectare fenced land and specializes mainly in organic vegetable production, such as cabbage, spinach, and potatoes, and adds maize and wool production as seasonal enterprises. The project operates in a space for storage and accommodation. There are currently only casual workers that are paid with the produce. The project is selling its produce to local communities and local hawkers. Portia Mukwena is a female living with a disability who farms broilers on a subsistence scale at Tlolong in Gestel. She started her farming enterprise in 2018 after recovering from stroke. The enterprise runs at a backyard of her parents' homestead in a shacked old garage. She started her business at a scale of 50 broilers and has not been able to grow due to financial constraints. Nevertheless, she continues to produce broilers to supplement her household food needs and generate surplus income. Thando Lwethu Community Project was established in 2011 by community members that volunteered to produce crops. Thando Lwethu Community Project produces vegetables on an open land and plant herbs. They produce spinach, Chinese cabbage, beetroot, carrots, onion, chaumulia, sweet potatoes, turnip, cabbage, eggplant, red onion, wonder beans, bush beans, leeks, peanuts, and potatoes. In 2014, Thando Lwethu moved to an old age home in Zone 14, where they continued with a vegetable garden. The project has 6 members, 3 of each male and female, with 1 person living with disability. The ward councillor of Zone 17 gave them a piece of land and connected a water tap in the garden. The agreement between the ward councillor and the project members is to keep the area clean always, as it forms part of the community park. Cynthia Buntle Musweswi is the owner of Moarabi Farming and Trading Business, which started in 2004, situated in Randfontein in the Gauteng province. She was involved in a car accident in 2006 and sustained injuries to her legs that left her disabled. Her disability did not demotivate her due to a passion for farming. Instead, she became more committed and started producing vegetables and supplying Spar and other retailers around Randfontein. Unfortunately, due to a shortage of water in her farm, she stopped producing vegetables and ventured into beekeeping given the demand of honey in her area. She produces raw honey from 130 beehives and bee wax, which she sells to informal markets in neighboring communities. Victoria Matebogo Moane, who is hearing impaired, is the owner of the Voice Out Deaf enterprise, which is based in Western Area in Randfontein in the Gauteng province. The business has been operating since 2016 and leases the land for its production. Her business has 10 greenhouses where she produces 20 tons of tomatoes, 10 tons of pepper, 10 tons of spinach, and 5,000 cabbages per cycle. She sells her produce to the local hawkers, Pick and Pay, Spar, and Fruit and Veg Market, and the profit is reinvested back into the business. The enterprise employs 41 workers, 7 of which are permanent and half are deaf. She has adopted a school for the deaf, bought her 10 workers and deaf community members 300 KFC food parcels during the COVID-19 period, bought 10 workers' bicycles, donates vegetables to Old Age Society and 2 creches in Muhlakeng, and assisted 20 deaf workers to apply and get RDP houses. Susan Ngobeni is a founding member of the Hoitsi Mudimu Care and Support, which was registered in 2006 in Kanana, Hammanskraal. They consist of 6 females and a male, with 4 being deaf. The agricultural project started in 2018 for household consumption purposes and generating little income from surplus produce. They produce spinach, kale, cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, carrots, and beetroot at the center. They donate their vegetables to the needy households, conduct counseling and do referrals, conduct sign language training, and sewing to develop vulnerable individuals. Khulumile Thokozile Msezane started producing spinach and pumpkins in her household yard in 1994. She was involved in a car accident and had a nerve injury on her foot leading to paralysis. She plants staple foods like cabbage, maize, and bean vegetables on a 2-hectare piece of land since 2000. Ms. Msezane shares her produce with her neighbors and also donates her produce to the nearby creche. Ndomfuthi Ngengwa is the sole owner of Masibumbane Entertainment and Others Enterprise, which is located in Mbulwane outside Greytown in the KwaZulu-Natal province. The business started operating in 2010 and specializes with the production of yogurt and amasi sour milk, which has been tested by SANAS. Milk, which is a critical production input for the business, is sourced from Kadara, processed into different flavors of low-fat, smooth and drinking yogurt, and also into amasi. She mainly promotes her products on social media and supplies neighboring hospitals, schools, a Here's supermarket and local tuck shops. The business has created 5 permanent and 5 seasonal jobs. Prema Naika is the owner of Demi Farms that was established in eThekwini in 2017 as a vegetable-producing entity. In mid-2018, the enterprise moved operations to Dlangezwa under Ugu area due to availability of land as well as access to the Umpomas River, a source of water for irrigation. Approximately 7 hectares of land is under agricultural crops. Prior to the floods of 2022 and 2023, Dema Farms had 18 employees, which got reduced to only 8 permanent employees. She has persevered despite severe losses suffered due to the floods and infestation of fall army worms in maize. Despite her disability, she's able to drive to the market and sell her produce. Vaina Baloyi is the owner of Kulani Agricultural Primary Cooperative Limited, situated in Mbaula village, Giyani. Ms. Baloyi started farming in 2018 in a small area of half a hectare, and now she is planting on 3 hectares. She specializes in commodities including vegetables, maize production, and groundnuts production. Matumelo Susan Matukusi is the owner of Pija Poultry and Vegetables that was established in 2018 with only 1 chick. She started buying layers to produce eggs and breeding broilers. She produces 250 layers, 3,000 chickens, and has an incubator that holds 2,000 eggs. They also slaughter chickens and pack for customers depending on received orders. The business is growing well due to the demand from surrounding farmers for chicks. They also supply spaza shops with eggs and local vegetable farmers with manure. Selina Mulobedzi grew up in Wandwe and started growing seedlings in 2017 at home as a niche because she realized it was difficult to get seedlings within her surroundings. She started by planting Chinese spinach and Swiss chard and managed to produce seedlings. She then planted at the backyard and started selling crops to the local community. Due to the demand, she went to tribal authority and requested 2 hectares of land, which was approved. The DTI in 2013 granted her funds and assisted her with the following: a JoJo tank with 10,000 liters, constructed a fence for a 2-hectare piece of land, poles and nets for the nursery, and 200 seedlings trays. She started working with 1 woman, and after the nursery expanded, she employed 17 more women, 12 of which are seasonal and 5 are permanent, and they produce quality seedlings. Her nursery produces 200 trays of cabbage, Chinese spinach, shade and tomato, 100 trays of green pepper and onions. Her markets for seedlings include nearby villages and schools for nutrition programs. Lombinza Trading Pty Limited is an agricultural business that is owned by Ms. Phumzile Nhlapo. Ms. Nhlapo started her farming business in 2006. She was born with a disability. Together with other groups of women, she acquired a 749-hectare farm in Woodbank through the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. They planted maize, soybeans, and started breeding livestock. She then started her broiler enterprise, responding to the local demand for fresh chickens. Ms. Nhlapo used her profits to expand the business by buying sheep and planting vegetables. She currently breeds about 25 ewes and 1 ram and has 9 beef cattle which she bought over a period of 4 years. She sells weaners at the auctions and locally, especially around December month. She uses half a hectare of her land for vegetable production. Vegetables such as spinach and cabbage, which she then sells to local hawkers who collect once a week. Thandi Masilela, who is a person living with disability, established Vukuzenzele Protective Workshop, a project situated at Bethel, next to Bethel Clinic in Govan Municipality of Gert Sibande District. Vukuzenzele specializes in growing vegetables both winter and summer that includes spinach, cabbage, green pepper, beetroot, green beans, pumpkins, potatoes, mustard spinach, chilies, lettuce, onion and carrots. The project operates in a 1-hectare piece of land. There are 16 other people that are beneficiaries of the center, who are both women and men, as well as youth living with disabilities. These beneficiaries are at the center from Monday to Friday. Dadlia is supporting the project with production inputs, demonstrations, technical advice, and trainings since its inception. Selwane Hildantebe is the general manager of the center called Masbambisane Disabled Group of Matsulu, which is located at Matsulu Trust in Bombela in Mpumalanga. The project was established in 2001 with 66 people with disabilities benefiting from the center. The center houses 56 women and 10 men with disabilities. The center produces vegetables such as spinach, cabbage, onion and beetroot, as well as maize during winter, and all these are produced for household consumption. Eva Tembeni Likuleni is the co-owner of the Pilgrims Disabled Poultry Project, situated on the eastern side of Komatipoort, about 83 kilometers away from Tonga. The project started in 1998 with 21 disabled persons, and the main aim was to focus and assist those who are physically impaired by holding meetings on developing themselves and their projects. Out of 21 members, 17 were women and 4 were men. They started their production plan with 1 hectare of land, which was donated by the Mlambo Traditional Council. They involved in vegetable and poultry production. In 2003, the tribal office extended their land by 4 hectares. There are currently 5 members, 3 men and 2 women. They constructed a poultry house, which is divided into 2 houses for 1,000 broilers and an office for administration of the project. They market their broilers to surrounding family households and even to educators.